A federal court is weighing whether a controversial Texas immigration law is constitutional.
That's right. An appeals court heard arguments today from the Justice Department, ACLU, and the state of Texas. At issue is the law known as SB4, which empowers local law enforcement to arrest and deport undocumented migrants suspected of illegally crossing the border.
CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez is in our Washington bureau for us. So, Camilo, what was said during today's hearings? Bring us up to speed.
Hi, Lana. Texas and the Biden administration were back in federal court in New Orleans today to make their respective arguments for and against SB4. This is the far-reaching Texas law that would essentially criminalize unauthorized immigration at the state level, empowering officials in the Lone Star State to make felony or misdemeanor arrests of migrants who are suspected of crossing into the U.S. from Mexico illegally or re-entering the country illegally for a second or third or fourth attempt. And it is important to note that one of the takeaways from this hearing is that there is still a lot of confusion and uncertainty as to how Texas officials will be implementing this law. One of the provisions in this measure allows state judges to issue de facto deportation orders against migrants who are suspected of violating this law. But the state acknowledged today in the hearing that it cannot physically remove people from the country without the consent of federal officials and also foreign governments like Mexico. And the Department of Justice and Mexico have both said that they will not help Texas enforce SB4 and allow the state to return people to a foreign country like Mexico. And so there are still a lot of open questions.
It sounds like, Camilo, that word suspected is key, right? Migrants suspected of crossing the border illegally. Remind us why the Biden administration is taking issue with this policy and why Texas wants the responsibility.
Well, the Biden administration, Errol, has had two main legal arguments in federal court against SB4. The first one is that they believe this measure interferes with federal immigration enforcement. They say that historically, immigration rules, including those regulating who gets to stay and who does not get to stay in the country, are overseen by the federal government, not by individual states, and that otherwise it would be a chaotic system because 50 different states would be setting their own immigration rules. The second legal argument against SB4 by the Justice Department is that it jeopardizes and harms relations with Mexico, and that is because the Mexican government has forcefully denounced SB4, calling the measure anti-immigrant. Texas, on the other hand, including Governor Greg Abbott, they have all argued that this is a necessary attempt by the state to curtail illegal crossings because of what they see as federal inaction in stemming the flow of migration to the U.S.-Mexico border. Texas, in this hearing today, tried to say that this is a limited attempt by the state to help the federal government deal with that crisis at the border. But the Justice Department, again, argued today that this is an extreme attempt, in their words, to commandeer what has traditionally been a federal policymaking area.
All right, Camilo Montoya-Galvez keeping us up to speed on SB4. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.